by Leenock. He surprised stats through the air. I don't know if Leenock can use that in Game 4. You know, as you go on in a best of 5, you're slowly giving away more and more strats.
Yeah.
And
don't forget, these guys live together. They're in the same team house. So, like, anything that they have that they're trying to surprise each other with, they might be using, you know, kind of not exactly the first time, but something that they don't use that much, because otherwise their opponent might know about it.
Well, map number 4 is literally at Crest. All Stats has to do is win one more game. Leenock is not allowed to make any more mistakes in this series. Let's see what happens, man.
Yeah.
Game number 4 has loaded up. Leenock versus Stats as we go into this next match in day number 2 of the GSL Code A. In the bottom right, in the blue, our Zerg player.
KT 로스터 리노.
I gotta say, he has to be pretty pleased with those results in that last game. He's gonna have to do it 2 more times though if he wants to win this. So he's still got a long road ahead of him. And in the upper left, in the red, our Protoss player, he is.
KT 로스터 스텝.
He's going for a gateway and gas here.
You know, one thing I do want to point out, he did scout the Spire with the Oracles, like it flew past the Spire. The Spire is a very certain shape as far as Zerg building, so
it's
definitely...
GTR! Where are your headsets, guys?
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, he saw the Spire and like kind of didn't react at all. Like he could have definitely made some Phoenixes, but I don't know. It was an interesting game. It was a weird one.
Yeah, let's see how this whole series continues to pan out now.
I kind of have a feeling that like that will be Leenock's, you know, final stand, and Stats would just kill him here.
I'm a little bit worried about that. That would be like this flash in the pan game, and then Stats like, okay, time to hunker down here and just close this out. Of course, I think most people expecting for Stats to be taking the series, but you got to be pleased with the results of Leenock at least taking 1 game off of him, especially considering, you know, the powerhouse player that Stats is right now.
Yeah, I mean, this KT roster is pretty badass at the moment. It's kind of funny that Leenock is on the team. You never even really think of him when you think of KT, because he's always been like, you know, one of the top players on any team he's on.
He's just so overshadowed by the individuals that's on the KT roster.
Yeah, it's rough. He's going to need a hell of a lot of flashlights to overcome that. But, you know, we'll see what he has this game. I want to see something modern again, like Ling Bane. Leenock does very well with things like Ling Bane. You know, he's quite a strong ZVZ player even because of that. So
the problem is with Ling Bane is I don't think you can keep doing that in a series like this. I think once you do it once or twice, it just... The other player just hyper-focuses on that.
If they do, like, just straight counter it and hit you with a very sharp, like, Archon timing attack, it is... I mean, that's when it starts to really get crushed a lot harder. But, you know, we see Dark overcome that, so...
Yeah, that is true.
Perhaps Leenock would be able to as well.
Let's see. Does he go up for the Oracle again out of the Stargate? It is up here in the front. Easy to spot if Leenock opts to go out there.
And, yeah, of course, Leenock with that Zergling speed has enough for Overlord speed at this point. See if he grabs that again. I do like Zergs that take that. Scouting is good.
He's doing a different air tech here. He's going to go for Phoenixes. And looks like he's going to be taking his third base pretty quickly over here, along with this.
Leenock, no real signs what he's up to quite yet. Look at those 2 Adepts.
Yeah. Now the Overlord's going to come in here, and immediately, the moment that that's planted, the Leenock spots it and backs away. Getting some confirmation as to what his opponent's up to. The Phoenixes are, of course, going to clear out these Overlords. Definitely that Overlord in the top center is going to be targeted next here from Stats. Even though he probably hasn't seen it there, he can basically guess that it's going to be there. It's all very, very textbook.
Yeah. I mean, there's just like little patterns that you send your Phoenixes in to find all the Overlords.
Right.
It would almost be safer if you put it in the middle of the map.
In some sense, yeah.
Yeah. There becomes like especially for like hiding workers that are out on the map, there becomes like a meta for where to put them.
It's like playing hide and go seek, but you just hide in the least logical spot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You don't want to do something
You don't
crazy.
go under the bed. You don't go in the closet. You actually...
Sometimes it's best to hide almost in plain sight.
Yeah. Here's the fourth base now for Leenock. That should be the point of tension coming up here, as Stats is probably going to be the one that's going to push out here first. And he's going to use these Phoenixes to pick up the workers and try to kill them off. And it's going to be up to Leenock to try to just curb whatever damage comes in at this point in time.
Well, right now, a couple of depths coming in as well. Looks like he has a very strong surround right off the bat. 6 drones dying so far.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing we can say is because it's a Phoenix-based play, you can just kind of refill drones for a while against that, and you can take a quicker fourth base. So, like, you know, that's kind of the way that Zergs are going about countering this. It sucks, though, that he lost that queen. You really don't want to be losing queens here.
All right, taking out some of these drones once again. And you're totally right, Artosis. It is like you're losing workers, but you can remake them.
Yeah.
You're not losing your ground army as much.
There's only so much damage that, like, an Oracle can kill like 1 billion drones. Phoenixes cannot. It's a very fixed number. It's a big number, but you can continue to remake them, and it costs so much to make this many Phoenixes that all Protoss tech is going to be a little bit slower, and any attacks are thus they're slower, and so you can keep your economy together. I'm not really worried that much about how many drones he's lost so far. I mean, it's not good, but it'd be better if he lost none. But it's not like the other games is what I'm trying to say.
Well, the Zerg can't do much about losing drones against us.
Yeah.
I mean,
Phoenixes
anybody's
will always pick up
played
drones.
Zerg, it's kind of like, well, this is going to happen, and you have to just try to power through it. We see the Baneling's Nest coming here. Obviously, Stats is very aware of the economic placement right now of Leenock. The question is, is he going to be able to hurt him with a push coming up here? The worker count overall, it's 72 to 66, so Zerg still has more workers than Protoss.
Yeah, Leenock is getting exactly how many workers that he actually wants while going into Hydralisk Bane. And Hydra Bane is, one of these newer styles that we saw Solar kind of bring to the forefront against specifically Stats in the SSL, in that loser bracket finals. And it's a really strong way to play. And this is a big open map, so he's going to have a lot of mobility with this army when he gets it up.
Okay, another nice play here by Stats. He's doing a good amount of damage, and that's going to get cleaned up, but he did milk out those Baneling hits there.
And 5 drones or so that was pretty good. Look at this. Wow. Leenock is, not doing well guarding against tiny harassments.
Yeah, that's what worries me is that little attacks like this, you should be able to hold off at this level of play. And, Leenock has taken little bruises here and there, and I'm worried, down the road he's going to lose in a big fight.
Well, if you just keep hemorrhaging drones all game long to things like a Zealot and an Adept, or 3 Adepts, that's pretty painful because the Phoenixes are not going away. The top-level Phoenix play, you are going to see them fly in and out all the time, harassing, scouting, seeing everything.
Yeah, potentially not losing anything, and they're going to become very important later on in the big attack as well.
Now, by the way, we do have the Lurker Den on the way, which I'm actually really happy to see because, while we do see a lot of people go for Hydra Bane and just try to kill their opponents with that, I like the fact that he's going into Lurkers. This is like when Zealots try to charge onto the Lurkers and you have some Banelings to clear them out, it becomes a lot harder for Protoss to break that. So.
Yeah, he could use the Phoenixes for pickups, though, on those Lurkers if he wants to, if he gets the right angle.
Yeah, if you don't have a lot of Hydras, that becomes actually quite an issue. You pick up 4 or 5 Lurkers, you need a certain mass of units for Lurkers to work out.
Okay, coming down here, hitting this Nexus. Good job keeping that alive. Once again, just these little attacks here from Stats. Stats, when he sees he doesn't do damage, he just backs off. Very safe.
And, if he has that 4th base up, that's going to be really nice considering Leenock is only on 4. By the way, that creep spread, it's like July Zerg creep spread right there.
Yeah.
Just like a little row. It's like, okay, that's enough. I got it up to the watch out. That's good.
Yeah, he's mostly focused at home for now. Now, in the supplies here, we're seeing both players start to get very close to the max out point. 157 for Zerg, 142 for the Protoss. And I think once Stats has that center left base on the map up and running, I think he's going to attack Artosis.
Yeah, we have 15 Lurkers more for right now. A lot of Lings Aspire about to finish, and the fleet beacon on the way over here for stats, so he is definitely wanting to go into some Tempest to help out against this.
All right, Zerg is set up, ready to go. And
those Zealots are so dead.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they can't even come back as immortals.
When you see people invest in these units, the Lurkers, oh my god.
Okay, that is a huge deal.
Yeah, that was big.
You need
Blindly
a prism.
put that in there. Yeah.
Yeah, like against this many Lurkers, he better start a prism right after these immortals because this, like straight up, this army of Leenock is really strong.
Well,
and
it seems like Leenock knows this too, and he's starting to push out now, saying, "All right,
if there's no prism, he can bring every unit because there's no way for him to really take much damage at home."
Exactly. No way to reinforce. We're going to have those immortals finished up here in a second. Now, when you see an army like this from Zerg, you got to remember you can attack them where the army is not. It's not a quick army overall. The Lings are fast, but the Hydras and Lurkers are not.
But look at this. He's getting into position right now near this third base. Kind of like, I don't want to see him actually attack into this area. If he goes down the center, he can divide the fourth base, the natural, and the third base all from each other. But here he's kind of committing to pushing into the third, and this buys stats a ton of time.
As the game moves forward here, it seems like Stats can't really engage this area up here. You can see he's thinking about it. Mothership Core coming up now. And Leenock is actually going to try to maybe tear down these rocks and try to sneak some of his army up there and hit that base in the upper left side of the map. Now, keep in mind, this army in the top center, if Leenock loses this, he's probably going to lose the game. If he loses this in a fight where he doesn't take much. I mean, and he also can't really go back home. He can't actually run away. He actually he has to hold his ground. He's in Stats' turf.
Yeah, you're very right about that. Look at this. Oh my god, he gets in and takes out the detection here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, there's no detection. I don't even know what to say.
This is
like really sad.
He actually cannot see this army.
Like this look at this. He's actually still doing a pretty good job against this. All right, he's actually clearing this out despite having no detection.
Yeah, nicely
this is like,
done.
What a weird thing that I've just watched here. But Leenock has lost so much. He's making 21 mutas behind this.
Yeah, now this might catch Stats off guard, and I like the way that Leenock's playing this. It's a little unconventional. He's just switching to what he's doing very quickly. He just rotates from this tech to that tech.
Yeah, and this is like a really good call. This gives him a real opportunity to win the game. Yeah, there's a fleet beacon and 2 Stargates, but there's no Phoenixes out. The anti-air is super weak right now, and 21 Mutt-Mutts will clear the mothership and everything under it.
So I think actually just seeing the gas speed mine there just like that should be a tell as to what's happening. Now the Mutalisks are hatching. They're coming out now. Is Protoss going to be ready? Not sure about this.
You got to be a little bit scared. Of course, he does have the Phoenixes from before.
Where are the mutas?
He's pulling them.
But, there they are. Okay.
Like that's quite a few. Thing is, what will he get done with this? There are, I think, 4 Phoenixes left over. Okay, no, actually there are 5. An Archon, some Psystorm, stuff like that, but here he goes.
Okay, huge Jeremy coming in here, unpowering those cannons. They're now just destroying all these workers.
Yeah, and dealing quite a bit of damage to this economy. Will he actually go and commit, getting on top of this mothership?
Whoa. Archon doing a lot of damage. Oh, my God.
Right, well, that is that.
That must have been at least, oh man, and meanwhile down here in the bottom center, Stats is hitting and hitting hard. The idea of what Leenock was doing was smart, the execution not so much.
Yeah, I felt like he should have attacked directly onto the mothership and whatnot and just try to kill the army and win through that way. He does kill off the Phoenixes, but we do have Phoenix range on the way as well as another Stargate, so he's going to be able to refill that pretty quickly.
He's actually going to try to trap this up here at the top. Now, the Mutalisks are faster than what the Protoss has right now, so he can try to avoid. However, it doesn't seem like Leenock has anything back at home to help defend against all these Zealots. He's going to try to hit this base up here. Let's see how much damage he actually does.
Well, there's a lot of Zealots right now in his natural. He does recall on top of these Lings and Mutas. Muta's going to fly away for the time being. There are some Corruptors coming as well, but there's just not enough to go against the range attack of these Phoenixes. Like, those 4 Phoenixes can kill every Muta he makes for the rest of the game now.
All right, the Phoenixes, yeah, I think we're starting to see the beginning of the end here. They both did, the idea behind what they were both doing was good, but when you go back and look at all the pieces and what's still here, Stats is in great shape. Leenock is also kind of stuck because now Stats has decided to counter the air units, and you can't really get much equity out of these air units
Yeah.
once they've been countered. This is sort of like the last move. It's like you move the queen out on the board in chess, and you're trying to throw them off, and then you lose the queen, and it's like, well,
This
what are we gonna do? You know,
it's pretty rough because I guess he
Stats
already
is
lost his
castled.
rooks.
Yeah.
All right, those
Yeah.
were the lurkers, and now he's just got this.
He's
like,
got
group
2
of
knights and a
mutas.
bunch of pawns right now.
Yeah, and look at this. Stats is playing really smart. Look at that. A couple of Archons left, some Zealots, and a row of cannons. Very tough to break through all
GG,
this.
that does it. Our winner for our first match today, Stats, a 3-1 victory. Definitely the player who deserves to go on. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, that's, I mean, we all expected him to be able to take this down. A 3-1 seems about appropriate. Leanock with some good plays in there for sure. But I have to say, I think the biggest mistake here in this entire game, he got a little bit, unlucky, I want to say, losing his detection during that battle. But I think the biggest mistake, Tasteless, was he attacked towards the third rocks. It doesn't even make sense. Attack downhill in between all the bases so that you can hit any location.
He had this army up there, and I'm not sure what the plan was. It's like he got up there, and then now what?
Yeah. Lurkers are great at holding an area, and if he had held an area of consequence rather than outside some destructible rocks.
Right. He's controlling an area that doesn't have much significance, and of course with Lurkers, you can't really run away. So that's an issue as well. In some cases for Zerg, when they're off creep, if they try to retreat, they're probably going to lose all or at least most of their army. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to go on to our second best of 5 in day 2 of the GSL Code A. Stay tuned.
Times that I've seen you lose your way, you're not in control, and you won't be told. All I can do to keep you safe is hold you close till you can breathe on your own, till you can breathe on your Hold tight, you're slowly coming back to life. I've been giving you hell, darling. Let go of all your haunted dreams tonight. I've been giving you hell, darling. Hold tight, you're slowly coming back to life. I've been giving you hell, darling. Let go of all your haunted dreams tonight. I've been giving you hell. I won't let you down. Everyone keeps a darker place to lose control. You're not alone. And when you come looking for embrace, I know your soul. I'll be your home till you can breathe on your own. Till you can breathe on your own. Hold tight, you're slowly coming back to life. I've been giving you hell, darling. Let go of all your haunted dreams tonight. I've been giving you hell, darling. Hold tight, you're slowly coming back to life. I've been giving you hell, darling. Let go of all your haunted dreams tonight. I've been giving you hell, and I won't let you down. You never think that you can fly. You'll always swim against the tide. Don't you know your pain is mine? And I would die 1,000 times to ease your mind. To ease your mind. Hold tight, you're slowly coming back to life. I've been giving you hell, darling. Let go of all your haunted dreams tonight. I've been giving you hell, darling. Hold tight, you're slowly coming back to life. I've been giving you hell, darling. Let go of all your haunted dreams
Ich weiß alles über jeden ohne List, denn da steckt ein Teil bei Exhibitionist. Stasi könnte von mir lernen. Gegen Service gebt ihr eure Daten gerne. Man hätte sich die Finger wund geleckt, eure Daten auf dem Silbertablett. Ihr seid die brave neue Welt, ja. Ich mach euer Leben für Geld, ja. Ihr seid die brave neue Welt, ja. Eure Daten flowen besser als der allerbeste Rapper, yo, ihr liefert viel bestellt. Ihr seid die brave neue Welt, ja.
생기다. 화사함이 생기다. 건강한 하루가 생기다. pH 8.0과 풍부한 미네랄로 핑크빛 생기가 생기다. 아이시스 8.0. 이제 모두 핑크하세요.
Lost Kingdom.
지금 바로 여기요.
피자통, 떡볶이통, 짬뽕통, 보쌈통. 대한민국 모든 배달 음식 통을 응원합니다. 배달은 우리가 통이다.
스타일? 상쾌하면 되는 거야. 상쾌함의 높이가 다르다. Stylish Sparkling Water 롯데 트래비. 치킨 먹고 갈래.
한 번 맛보면 매니아가 된다. 치킨 매니아. 자네가 그 치킨 매니아인가?
미소가 생기다. 화사함이 생기다. 건강한 하루가 생기다. pH 8.0과 풍부한 미네랄로 핑크빛 생기가 생기다. 아이시스 8.0. 이제 모두 핑크하세요.
한 번 선택이 평생 간다.
야, 늦었어. 빨리 와.
차 전세 냈어?
아니요, 그렇지 않고요.
힘들면 바꿔! 언제 어디서나 자유롭게 전직하라. 백전백승.
봄꽃책에서 듣다. 있는 그대로 맑고 깨끗하게 피어나라고 겨울을 이겨낸 봄꽃이 내게 말했다. 맑고 깨끗한 칠성사이다.
답답할 때 마셔봐요 트로피카나. 상큼상큼 과일 듬뿍 스파클링.
리얼 프루트를 스파클링으로.
과즙이 톡톡 쏜다. 트로피카나 스파클링.
슝 합체. 이건 마치 살아 움직이는 느낌인데 머리를 흔들면서 수염을 없애고 있어.
2,500만 명의 선택 플렉스볼. 아직도 안 써보셨나요? 질레트. 팀 캡틴 아메리카, 팀 아이언맨. 마블 퓨처 파이트에서 게임으로 즐겨라. 마블 퓨처 파이트. 캡틴 아메리카 시빌워 절찬 상영 중.
차 뽑고 정확한 견적 뽑고 금융 혜택도 뽑고 자판기처럼 쉽게 차를 뽑다. 다나와 자동차.
5월 24일 영웅들의 첫 번째 전투가 시작된다. 오버워치 5월 24일 전 세계 동시 발매.
라떼 마셔봐요 트로피카나 상큼상큼 과일 듬뿍 스파클링
리얼 프루트를 스파클링으로
과즙이 톡톡 쏜다 트로피카나 스파클링
봄꽃책에서 듣다. 있는 그대로 맑고 깨끗하게 피어나라고 겨울을 이겨낸 봄꽃이 내게 말했다. 맑고 깨끗한 칠성사이다.
Welcome to a GSL.
All right, we're back here in the GSL Code A. And I think this next match we have coming up here should be a pretty good one. It's going to be Speed versus Trust.
Yeah, it should be pretty good. Like, Trust is on KT now.
That's right.
CJ, if I recall correctly. Speed was on KT, but left, and we don't know why yet. We don't know if he's maybe going to another team. So yeah, I don't know. Like if he's going towards retirement or something, or he just like lost fashion or something like that, then this might not be good. But
I heard a rumor, guys. We really don't know. So
the thing is, yeah, Speed, I named him as my Rookie of the Year contender for this year. Like he's got really sick and seemingly good potential. I really hope he's just going to another Kespa team. And I think that this is going to tell us a lot about what his plans are. Like if he's still in top form and just smashes through Trust, I think that speaks very well for him. Now, Trust, the thing is, like, Speed just has more potential than Trust, like, because he came up a lot faster. Trust has been around longer, hasn't done nearly as well as Speed. The thing is, maybe Trust has really found his stride and is going to play very well as well.
Hey, we got these guys that play for a couple of years and don't have great results, and then all of a sudden, bam, they get it.
Yeah.
It clicks, something happens.
Totally.
And the connections are made in their mind, and they can do it. Maybe that'll be today.
It could be.
And of course, after the series, guys, we got another great one. It's going to be Sue versus Young.
Yes, that's the match tonight for sure.
For sure.
A couple of veterans, like GSL finalists, going up against each other. And with Hyun in a Kespa team now, that's going to be even more interesting because he should be in the best form he's been in years, is what I hope.
Who do you think wins this, Artosis?
Speed.
Yeah,
I think Speed is a better player than Trust,
I think maybe Speed wins 3-1.
I think Speed is like someone that could be like a Maru or a TY one day. Like, not for a while, obviously, but I think he's got that much
He's morphing
within
into
him.
it. He's still in his cocoon.
Yeah,
to become a butterfly.
Kid is brand new, but I've watched all of his games. I think he's fantastic. Like, really, really knows what he's doing so far. But there's the maps that we have. Going to be starting out on Dusk Towers.
And let's see how these two interact. Again, this should be a closer series. I'm really hoping it does go to Game 5.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I think we're going to have a much better idea after Game 1, kind of seeing where our players are at exactly.
Yeah. Well, you're certainly right about that, especially considering it's Dusk Towers. This is kind of like the macro map. So, that's where we're going to see like what they have planned. Does someone take the cheesy avenue, and do we have any big flub bubs? You got basically 4 free bases on this map, man.
Hey, yeah,
you should be fine.
Definitely a macro map. We are beginning our second best of 5. Speed versus Trust. Game number 1 has begun here in tonight's GSL Code A. In the upper right, in the blue, our Terran player, he is
Speed.
in the bottom left, in the red, our Protoss player.
KT 로스터 트러스트.
Okay. So Tasteless, just real quick before we
What's
get
up,
into
man? What's
anything,
up?
because early game TVP, pretty mapped out.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new X-Men movie?
No, man. I'm so behind on movies. I haven't even seen Deadpool yet.
I mean, Deadpool was pretty good. It was pretty. I liked it. But the new X-Men movie, I'm not going to give any spoilers or anything, but you know, there's all the X-Men in it.
How many more of those movies are they going to make?
Oh, just forever.
But I thought they almost wrapped up the storyline, right?
That was the third of that trilogy. But they are making more X-Men
did the
movies.
trilogies overlap at all, or because?
No, this was a different one. This was like back in time. Like these are younger X-Men.
I didn't see Batman vs Superman. I heard it, was lackluster, but
it was pretty bad.
That was based off an actual comic.
Yeah.
But you could see that they're starting to really stretch here to try to get the.
They're kind of reinventing X-Men quite a bit right now, but they're doing a really good job, I think. But yeah, there's a proxy pylon going up for Truss. So.
Yeah, this is interesting. I like the placement of that because that's probably not going to be found here. So we have Speed coming in now, and we see the Marine out here for Speed is scouting, but he's not going to find this pylon. This is actually put so far out, it's not exactly close to the guy's base, but I don't think this is going to go discovered at all.
It's a funny location, and it's a robo tasteless, so
whoa,
yeah, definitely could have a very quick prism coming out, I would imagine. Even possibly with where it is, it could have a Mortals rally out, but I think this is probably just going to be a mass warp.
I cast one game in Pro League where they get Warp Prism and then they just make Immortals behind it.
Yeah.
And push. And I don't think
this one is a little bit further. So, yeah, I mean, let's see. I do think it's just going to be the Prism. Kind of funny to hide this. Getting a quick robo is not like a weird thing in PvT, but...
I do love that placement, by the way, guys. You should steal that if you play online. That's like just in a certain spot.
Just more places for me to scout.
Yeah.
The curse of tasteless.
No, because look
you have to have 2-3 scouts out in the map.
I'm like, look at this, guys. This is a great way to make your opponent mad on the internet.
All right, Prism on the way. A couple of Hellions coming out right now. With a couple of Adepts here, the Hellions can't really do much if the Adepts are waiting.
Okay, he's going to deny the SCV. And, cool. Let's see here where this game goes. He's going to send the Warp Prism back over, and I believe he does make... Uh-oh.
All right, well, he gets in with these Hellions. Obviously the Adepts are not quite as quick. They're chasing him down. They already did a lot of damage to one as it walked up.
Yeah, and I think that's boxed in, so that's going to be the end of that. So only 2 kills. The Warp Prism hasn't been revealed. It may be a little bit suspect. Just the lack of other buildings there inside the base is sometimes enough to trigger, some anxiety there from the... and here it is. Here's the Immortals. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of gates, too. So this is like a super all-in from Trust.
Yeah, this is actually pretty cool. I'm surprised you don't see more of it because it's actually pretty
super
tough to
powerful.
It's one of these strats where you kind of just kick in the front door.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't require a lot of grace.
Even if you didn't kick in the front door, you have a prism in the back door, so it's like pretty good.
Yeah. So what he does is he just shoves here at the entrance. He doesn't have to commit to the entrance like Artos was saying. He can come from behind. But normally it falls apart when Protoss breaches the entrance.
Totally.
And
like if he gets the reactor and 2 depots, you kidding me?
Yeah, well, plus he's on top of the factory. He's on top of the barracks, or at least one of them. So it's really annoying. So check this out. He just wrecks this entrance entirely.
Yeah, and right now he is trying to get up into... is he going to actually shade on top of that? Yeah, he is.
Whoa, okay.
Well, he does bring in the Immortal as well, starting to warp in, targeting down that Warp Prism. Oh, that's a huge target down right there. So far, only 3 SCVs killed.
Well, that was a disaster. He just messed that up entirely.
Wow, that was really badly done by Trust.
Well,
I thought it was weird that he was shading on so quickly, but...
Yeah. I actually was for sure that was just a poke in, and he's going to back up and make more reinforcements, because once you knock down the depot, you're pretty much in good shape, because you can start hitting the other, the reactors and all the other stuff. And Terran can't really do much, and you've committed so much here. So Speed... probably thirsty right now for blood here after completely denying that attack. And this doesn't, you don't really segue that well out of this strategy. He's going to make another Immortal, I wonder?
Just more Adepts right now. Man. Look at this. He's going to actually find that Prism. He's going to find where that robotics is as well.
This is bad, man.
Yeah.
This is really bad for Protoss. You can have the best strategy in the world. If you can't execute it right, you're in trouble.
Yeah, look at this. Okay, 1 Stalker. Well, that's not going to work. And now he has to sacrifice some. Very, very painful here. We lose 2 Stalkers. Oh, my God. 3 Stalkers.
Oh, man.
3.5 Stalkers.
And still the Liberators are coming here doing so much damage. The counterattack so swift here from Speed. And we have another attack coming in here. He cannot lose that Warp Prism. He's got to be doubly careful about that. And again, this Liberator, these Liberators just doing so much damage. He's actually trading nicely even to the Stalkers.
Yeah, everything's working out pretty well for him right now.
Yeah, it really is.
You know, he's killed off so many army units that there's just no way that he's ever going to die coming up here unless like he really screws up against this Warp Prism. But Speed has done a very good job so far with the defense, with the counter harassment. Whereas Trust, like, you know, that was a little bit of a bungled shade on top. You know, I feel like he could have milked it out a little bit longer, fought at the choke, you know, taken out some more reactors and whatnot. But the fact that he sacrificed his whole army for almost no damage with an all-in build. His Robo's out in the map, Tasteless. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, that's also a very important building to have stuck in the middle of the map. I mean, it could be ambushed kind of whenever Terran feels like it, if Terran's feeling confident. Let's see what he does from here.
All right. If you say so.
That's what I'm waiting for, Artosis. Now we got a drop coming in here. He's going to plant some mines inside the worker area. Workers being evacuated. Going to get a minimal number of kills here. And he's actually going to pick up the mines and pull back out when he sees, okay, this is
maybe
not going to yield.
One right there for now.
Meanwhile, the Liberator coming in over here. He's going to have to move that Liberator and move it quickly. Speed, not sticking to his name, was not fast enough to get that out of there.
It does drop off a Widow Mine here at that third base as well. It will be picked off, but you know what? It's okay to lose a Liberator here and there, some Widow Mines with your harassment. You're trying to get that one big move, that one big hit, and you're keeping Protoss busy over in their base while you're massing up.
Terran beginning to move out now. Now let's see if he goes for that Robo Bay. He did spot that, right? I'm not crazy.
Yeah, he saw it.
Yeah, he saw that for sure. Okay. So he's going to come down there. Oh, this would be a nice interception here from Protoss, taking out that medevac. Wow,
indeed.
Right over that ledge.
Even has blank, so kind of weird he does not catch up. But, oh, just barely not getting it still. It's up at the front. He could target it down. We do have a nice flank with that Liberator.
And the slower Protoss units get gunned down as Terran presses forward.
All right, well,
that's how I play-by-play that one. I
fancy micro there, but look, he lost a lot of units trying to move out right there against this big army of Speed, and I mean, this is going to be hard for him to actually hold on without taking massive damage.
You know, with the Liberation Zone set up here, I think Terran can reinforce this pretty effectively. Look, he's going to get the pylon in a matter of seconds. The probes are going to try to attack under the Liberation Zone? I don't think so, man.
Certainly not, and this is like basically game-ending damage right here. Even if he kills this all off, the amount of units that he's lost means that he cannot go on the map like we just saw him try to do.
Yeah.
And the probes are dying as well.
Yeah, he's got a really good position. I think this could be the beginning of the end. Oh my God. And I think he's going to lose that war. No, the Warp Prism's actually still alive. But the Nexus, that might be another story.
Trust just... I don't know, man. Kind of like what I was expecting.
GG.
Trust just doesn't seem to be as good as Speed. You can see Speed here very happy with that win against former teammate Trust.
You know, that initial attack came in there, and the idea behind what Trust was doing was great, but then he set up the Warp Prism to reinforce, and that just got shot down.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much fancy stuff that Speed has to do there. He just sees it and clicks on it, and his units take care of the rest. They just shoot it out of the sky. So, yeah.
It was a weird play overall from Trust. Even moving out in the map right then, I'm like, what are you doing? What's your plan? Tell me your plan. I want to pause the game, go up there, write it down on a piece of paper. What's your plan right now with this army in the middle of the map?
Well, it's interesting because when you do a strategy like that, you should have practiced it so well, the execution would be perfect. And that seemed like something he hadn't done enough times.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's... You know, I think
like,
that...
you know exactly where you put the Warp Prism when you're doing a strat like that.
Oh, certainly you should.
And by the way, in the start of that, he had this great choke between the command center and the upper factory. He could have just stayed there.
Well, I think he should have stayed there. I think he got a little bit scared because it wasn't a 3 command center build or something. He was like, oh, you know, the tech is going to flow out. I'm going to be in trouble.
Too greedy.
Maybe I can kill him right now. Didn't work. But, I mean, what I'm really talking about is later on in the game when he got caught in the middle. What was that?
That was bad, man. We're going to go into game number 2. Speed against Trust. Let's see what happens. In the bottom right, in the blue, our Terran player winning game number 1.
Speed.
He's pumped.
Yeah.
All right, I got this.
I
Code
got
S,
this.
here I come.
Yep. Just moving to the beats. In the upper left, in the red, our Protoss player, the underdog. At least so far, he is.
KT 로스터 트러스트.
All right. See if Trust can put out a better game this time. So anyways, got to jump back to X-Men because I was watching X-Men and I'm like, I just love watching like the really powerful mutants against each other. And then I always think back to that really funny thing you said once. Hey guys,
is this about?
I hope you like X-Men because I'm about to talk about it more.
Welcome down.
Yeah, they like X-Men, of course. They wouldn't like GSL not like X-Men. That doesn't make
That's right,
sense.
yeah.
But anyways, like that one funny thing that you said to me a long time ago where it's
Was like,
what if your power was changing the color of your nose?
No, yeah, because that's the thing is when you look at all the X-Men, they all have powers, but like I feel like there should have been tons of X-Men that just had useless powers where it's like, well, I can make my tongue turn green.
Yeah.
Professor Xavier's like, well, we got another school for you. I'm really only interested in the cool X-Men.
Yeah, and I was thinking, I'm like, what is the worst
like, look at
power
this.
to have?
I can cook a bag of popcorn with my hands. It's like, well, that's kind of cool, but you can't fight crime with that.
Yeah.
So,
well, the thing is, right? Like changing the color of your nose. You're like, okay, it's a party trick. It's like, okay, the popcorn thing. Okay, that's fine. What is the worst power? So I was sitting there in the movie theater thinking.
Yeah.
And what I came up with is the power to kill weak animals. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, yeah, no. I mean, if you can just like kill bunnies or something, like that's pretty terrible.
Every toddler has, but
no, it's like, oh wow. Well, I mean, all you can do is make people angry. You can't do anything for good. Like little animals didn't do anything to anybody.
Well, you would be working as one of Magneto's.
It's like your most powerful moment is like you take down a deer or something, like a baby deer. It's like,
it's probably Bambi or something like that. We got a rush, by the way, Tosis. All right, guys, get ready. Truss is telling us right now he does not want to play speed in a long game at all.
All right, well, right now we do have that. Where's the mothership core? There
it's
it
right
is.
In the middle.
It's getting right up there. Wants to finish this command center so bad. And I think he will be able to finish this, so that's good. Reaper is going to jump up.
Okay, so they're both going to be taking some blows early on here. Little interruption in the mining.
Yeah, this is quite annoying. If Speed can keep that alive, that is going to actually get some significant damage done.
Actually, really good control here by Trust. Okay, he takes out the 2 depots. He's going to go over here for the reactor. The Marines have had to back up. The Adept does drive the Reaper out. Speed up against the ropes right now.
Now, here's the cool thing about this build is he's denying mining and SCV production at the natural.
Oh,
which
dude,
is really
he's not stopping.
Wow.
He's not stopping.
I was just going to talk about how he could transition this into a macro game, but never mind, guys. He is pushing forward right now with this pylon and adding a Stargate behind it.
Okay, so he's right over the production. The Marines are trying to be a controlled back here, and this pylon's going to finish. He's going to have to give up the tech lab too, man. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this great rush. He is getting close to the heart of the guy's base.
He is, luckily for him, already making a Cyclone, so the Cyclone can actually clear this all up basically by himself. As long as he doesn't lose too many SCVs, he can still be all right from this.
Right now, the Cyclone very close to popping out here, and it is out. And so he's going to go for that mothership core, and it goes down.
Meantime, we do have this Reaper causing some harassment over on the other side, killing a few probes. And Speed will stabilize from here, but there's an Oracle on the way. So if he doesn't have his Cyclone in position, a lot of damage could happen.
Yeah. Now the Reaper's going to come over here, try to balance this out, take out some workers. It's 27 to 28 right now, so still economically pretty even.
And it looks like, well, I mean, he's being very careful about this, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I think after game one, he's probably thinking, I just got to play, a conservative game and not take any risks, and I should be ahead. I think that's exactly what we're seeing right now.
All right. The Oracle, second one on the way. A couple pylons going up.
Does he have a mothership core?
I would hope. He has one floating towards it right now.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Oh, he flies his Oracle into the main base, but Cyclone is there.
Oh!
Wow.
Last second guns that down out of the sky.
He dunked that one.
Yeah.
All right, so these Oracles not really doing their job quite yet. You know, I think those pylons may have been to draw the Cyclones up to get the Oracle in to do some damage, but he already has a missile turret in both lines.
I don't know. I think Speed's okay. The problem is when you have rushes like this, is when the Protoss overcommits, it's like an anti-rush.
Yeah.
You're actually throwing away units. You're throwing away buildings.
What does he have now? Like,
not much, man.
He's
I mean,
taking the third base, but...
Dude, his tech was so delayed. Look, his Robo's just starting. Let's keep in mind that Oracle didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Terran should have a pretty big army and be able to just counter-push this, I think.
Yeah, if you look at the actual worker supplies here, 40 to 35.
Oh my
That's pretty good for Terran because they make their workers just kind of slower than Protoss overall. They're generally a little bit behind. You know, they have to like morph their command centers and all that. So
I feel like
definitely
we're watching.
Speed has good economy right now.
We're watching the show Protoss on ice, but what you don't know is that Protoss don't have any ice skates and they're just slipping and falling all over the place. This is going very poorly. Every time he attacks, he's losing his units. A big threat of Speed counterattacking. Speed, kind of the Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi, wax on, wax off, blocking every attack. He's going to get into crane form pretty soon, Artosis.
Going after a pylon right now, kind of luring units down. A little bit surprising he's even committing the Cyclone like that.
He's like, well, you know, I got this thing. We don't get a lot of them, so I thought I'd
go on my rocket car. Oh!
All right.
Down it goes.
Does not save that, but that's kind of inconsequential. Compared to the larger threat of the more standard Terran units coming out here.
Those medevacs, we do have +1 attack about to finish. Loads them up. Looks like he's going to go into the other side. Phoenix is being made. I think he only has like 2 Phoenixes, though.
Oh, my God. Is he going to see it? He sees it.
But does he see it?
Yeah, the question is, did his eyes go on the mini-map? He went in range, I think he spotted.
Trust's eyes are just staring at the next cheese he's planning, whatever that might be. All right, he is going Glaives, so this might be like a Glaives Phoenix type of play from Trust.
Speed's turn to attack now. How much damage can he do? Oh my God, these Adepts are going to come right on top of this. This could be really bad.
Yeah, he might want to just pick up and leave, but nice hit there with the Widowmine.
He's going to try to unload again over here. Liberator doing some damage. Will eventually be taken out by the Phoenixes. And I think this attack has finally been saved off. Oh, my God.
Well, he got 1 harassment done.
Speed is everywhere.
Yeah, man. He's kind of like a little TY.
Yeah.
You know, he's multitasking all over the place, trying to get that damage done. Maybe he doesn't do it in 2 places, but that 3rd place does a great job.
Well, I got to say, that was overall a successful attack. Supplies right now, 102 to 81. So Speed... just a little bit more of a stronger army. And that's going to be a big threat coming up. We'll see when he decides to stop harassing and start actually pushing on the ground. But right now, the air assaults have been really good from Speed. Taking out workers here, there, everywhere.
Well, right now, Trust is just on, like, Glaives and Phoenix.
Yeah,
right?
he doesn't have a very technical army, does he?
No, it's going to be very tough, especially with all these Widow Mines. He's going to have to shade on top of the army and draw Widow Mine hits in and try to do something with that. That's like the only way to engage with an army like this.
Oh, no, a drop here with mines in the worker line. Is Trust going to pull?
Ooh, well, he's going to lose a lot of probes, it looks like.
Yeah, he lost 6. He didn't get a shot at it, but there were 6 workers killed there.
All right, he does go in and lift up these Marauders. A good strategy there is the Adepts. You don't want them attacking those.
Yeah, Widowmine's still in the back here. A lot of Adepts. Is he going to get into range of this, though? Nice connection with the mines. No reinforcements just yet to meet up with the rest of this, although Terran might just have a better army overall.
Yeah, I would say anything is a better army than just Adept
Well,
Phoenix.
there's a Warp Prism. There's an AFK Warp Prism down here. That's never a good sign. I think this just might barely end.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's too many Marauders here, and that's just like too much health for the Adepts to chip through at the moment.
And really, Trust is really paying for the mistake he made earlier on by having that army just attack so quickly. He didn't have the tech there, and I think that's going to be it. We should see GG in a second here, as there is no way. There it is, GG for Trust to win game number 2. Speed very close to closing this out, only 1 win away.
Yeah, man, Trust not impressing right now, I have to say, Tasteless.
Yeah, I mean, here's what I will say, though. I like the idea behind what Trust is trying to do. He's saying, I don't want to have a fight in the mid-game, in the late game. I'm going to try to cripple him or maybe even kill him early on. But clearly, Speed isn't having any of that.
I think especially after game one, the way that we saw him kind of clap and smile, I think he looked at that and said, okay, you haven't changed. You haven't really improved enough to beat me here. And I think he was pretty certain of victory from game one.
I think
maybe as he should be.
In the mind of Speed, I'm sure he's hearing the words, yeah, I'm better.
Yeah.
I got this.
Well, I think he just straight up is. Like, the thing is, Trust is obviously very good. He's been in Code A before. We've seen him in Pro League from time to time, but not the same level as the guy who on his first try got round to 16 in Code S.
Yeah, definitely two very different skill levels. By the way, our game has now loaded up. It's game number 3 on Orbital Shipyard. Trust versus Speed. Can Trust turn this around, or is Speed going to close this out? Let's see. Was that Limp Bizkit playing?
I think it might
I haven't
have
heard
been.
that band in a long time, man. Wow.
Speed.
Speed. By the way,
another Limp Bizkit
how old
song.
were you when Limp Bizkit was out? I must have been in 7th grade or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
In the bottom left, in the red, he is.
스케이트 로스터 트러스트.
It's a guy in the band that he basically took over the identity of all people that wear red baseball caps. That was it. So, let's see what happens here. I would not be surprised if Speed does a rush again. Trust does a rush again against Speed.
What rush is he gonna like? I just don't like the play that he's brought here, especially with the kind of missed execution on some of it.
Well, I mean, here's the problem, Artie. I mean, what do you do if you're already having a hard time with these rushes? I mean, can he really control just like a big army in the mid game?
Well,
if you can't
rushing
control
all the time, probably not.
a few specific units early on in a strategy that's engineered, and by the way, guys, when you practice this, you don't even practice what a normal game looks like. You just do this build.
Yeah.
If you're practicing correctly.
Yeah, I think that.
And the fact that he couldn't do that, he doesn't seem to have the right placement. He doesn't quite seem to have the right timing mapped out. I'm not sure if he's practicing with inferior opponents, but the Speed seems to have no problem at all against this.
Yeah, dismantling him really with ease so far in this series. I guess we wait.
Yeah, that's what we do in this matchup.
What have you been up to, Tassels? Haven't seen you since Friday.
I got a new computer, man.
Yeah.
I got a new computer. I'm loving it. It's great. I'm finally using Windows 10. I'm already used to it. I'm very proud of that.
You're a shill.
I'm already, guys, I'm
Windows 10?
Yeah.
My computer bugs me all day about this. Now you're going to bug me about this?
I gave in. When I got the new computer, I'm like, all right, just take me, Microsoft. I'm not going to fight any longer.
I'll keep up the good fight.
That's right.
I used Windows 95
just so you guys know, he still uses MS-DOS, okay? He's like...
I actually used Windows 95
he said like CD /
forever, and I used it till it didn't work. And
StarCraft 2.
I don't like new things.
Yeah. Other than that, I went to the dentist. I've been taking care of, doing more. This is like the month where I take care of all the grown-up stuff, so I can go back to basically being a adult nerd. Where so I had to, I've been taking care of stuff.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
And that's it. What about you?
I played some StarCraft, casted some heroes.
So you're living the normal nerd life.
Yeah,
I've been
normal.
Tying
overall.
up all the loose ends I got to do so that.
Training the dog.
That's right. You got a new dog, man.
Yeah. So yeah, things are good.
That's good, man.
Just happy that all the StarCraft's starting up again.
Yeah, I'm always excited when the new season comes up. Yeah,
definitely had too much free time.
Well, this game here, we got Blink coming up. It looks like it's going to be 3 gates so far. This is a much more conservative route, unless he makes a bunch more gates, which I don't think is going to happen. I think he's just going to probably play very safe here. And let's see.
By the way, this is like as standard as you can get from Trust, so that's a little bit different. And this game, Speed just happened to decide to go for a fast third command center, and he made the bunker on the low ground just to make sure he'd be okay. So that actually gives him like a little edge.
Speed?
Yeah, which is really funny because Trust set it up in such a way that Speed, might have gone for tech again on 2 bases to try to hold it off, in which case we'd have a nice lead for Trust here, but instead Speed
Well,
kind of outdoing him.
I got to say, man, I mean, Speed is quite the poker player here. He's able to read the hand before it's even dealt from Trust. And, you know, just judging from the other two games, like we were saying, I think that Speed overall is just better at controlling an army.
Yeah, I
he
would
seems to know the placement. He seems to know. He was picking that initial fight back there when he was fighting in Game 2 before the game ended. I wasn't quite sure if he was going to win it because the reinforcements were so far away, but he just knows so well and had good control. I mean, he's just a very solid, scary player.
Yeah.
So we have Trust now moving out on the map.
And this is a good move. This is, like, again, as standard as you can get, moving across with your Blink Stalkers. A Prism's on the way. Just put a little bit of pressure onto Speed. And Speed has not actually taken that low ground base yet, so he's going to be stuck in his base a little bit longer.
Okay, now, Speed is totally fine with this. This was really intended to stop an attack that would have come much earlier. Now, how far exactly is Trust going to push this?
Well, just a little bit of harassment. Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of softening everything up.
Killed some infantry off there. Not bad. War Prism coming, another game. Glaive's coming as well. And Stim's almost done. Now we have the War Prism headed northbound.
And continuing to poke as much as he possibly can here. Already has that depot on fire.
On fire. And here come the gates. The gateway explosion has started. We're going to have Trust. And Trust is going to really exhibit how strong he is in a standard game. He tried to play the sneaky game in Game 1 and 2. He's saying, all right, we're going back to the traditional-looking game this time around. Although I do feel like Speed may be stronger in this regard as well.
Yeah, I think that
already with that stalker
Speed
attack,
is just happy to be alive right now. Like, if he gets this deep into the game and has a third base up and running, I'm sure that Speed is feeling like he has what it takes to kill Trust off here. But
yeah, for sure.
We haven't seen Trust do a straight-up macro game yet, so maybe he's really strong at this. Don't forget, who's his teammate? Zest.
That is true. Okay, he's in here now, right as that War Prism finishes up. We don't see anything here to defend, so we already have about 3 workers picked off. Whoa, big warping over here.
Yeah, with that pressure at the front, getting these adepts in could prove disastrous for Speed.
And by the way, Trust is not even done just yet. He's got another War Prism. He's going to attack him here. 3 attacks going on in 3 different locations. Is Speed going to be able to hang on?
And look at with all this damage that Trust is actually doing right now, it doesn't even matter if he loses those adepts in the main base. He can always pull back if this isn't working. He's got a ton of gateways. He's not going to die to a counterattack.
He actually got the mine too.
Oh man, this is going really poorly for Speed right now.
Is he going to be able to just take this? I think he might be forcing this to go onto the high ground. And the Marauders come down here. That's going to make it a lot tougher.
And with that many Marauders, he could force it back, but he's lost 19 SCVs.
Yeah, he has. This is the game that Trust needed, at least so far, here at about the 7-minute, 45-second marker.
Well, right now, Trust, he doesn't have like a lot of follow-up. It seems like he's just going to stand these gateway units, so there is some possibility that Speed can come back, but his SCV count continues to fall right now. He's down to just 39.
All right, I don't know if we're seeing the cleanup of this just yet. It seems like actually Trust has just dismantled Speed so effectively. This may snowball out of control, Artosis.
Yeah, it's almost there right now. It's avalanching, in fact.
Yeah. He's breached the main. I think this might be the end of the game, Artosis. I think finally, there it is, GG. Trust does it. Trust wins a game in Game 3, at least beginning the start of a comeback. Nicely done.
Yeah, that was good macro play. And now this is where Speed has to feel a little bit scared. He just lost a solid macro game. That was a build that Zest uses all the time. Trust executed it very well. The cheeses could be done now. It might be Trust kind of stepping up to the plate and saying, I'll beat you normal.
Also, very greedy play there by Speed early on. I think he's going to do much more middle-of-the-road play there.
All right. The map is going to be Laralac Crest. So I think that's a good one for macro games,
for Speed, I think he needs to play a game of no great strengths but no great weaknesses. You know?
Tastefucius says.
Yeah, that's right. I think he's going to have to go
have neither great
as hell, man.
Yeah. Without great weaknesses. I can't even come up with something for that.
Tosis. We could have had something beautiful there. That's okay.